Okay, so in the last series, I showed you how to export out of Mudbox. So now we're just going to start a new fresh scene and import what we exported out of there. So I'm just going to go new. And I don't like the layout of this. Get over there. Okay. And also attribute editor can also go over there. Okay. Ah, crap. There. Okay. Yeah, we're going to bring in our model. So I'm just going to file import. And it should go right to your scenes folder, and I'm just going to look for my my final export. So to where is it? To my topology. Should be like final character model import, and here it is in all of its glory. That looks acceptable. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to attach the materials. So now if you have hair, and obviously that's in a different scene, what you could do is just go to that scene. You can literally just like select it like that, hit Control C or Command C, go in here and hit Control V or Command V. It will totally work. So that's an option. Or you can just grab it and then just do File, Export, Selected, and then Import Selected here. Just make sure you clean it all up as far as like the history and stuff. Like go into the outliner and make sure there's nothing like extra in there that you wouldn't want. Okay. So next we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and make the materials. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit the hypershade up here. If I move this thing out of the way, there we go. Hit the hypershade here. And we're just going to, so there's a bunch of different materials here. So depending on what your final output is, so like if I was using Arnold, which is the sort of, it's not built in, but it's what comes with this, which is the high resolution renderer. So if you've taken the lighting and rendering class, I think that's what they cover. I would use the Arnold shaders. Where are they? I could just click on it over here. Click on the Arnold. I would use the standard one. I just use the standard for everything, wherever that one is. I would use that one. But in our case, because we are, I want to use something that's basically just a little bit more generic. So we're going to stay just in the Maya ones. And I am going to select the Blinn. Blinn is like the most basic, generic one. More than likely, you would be outputting this probably into a video game if you're a video game student. If you're animation, then maybe use the Arnold ones. But I'm just going to use Blinn. So we'll do Blinn, and I'm just going to call this the carrot. Oops. So what is my? Oh, he's Logan, right? So we're going to call it Logan underscore MAT. Okay, so Logan material. Then to my color channel, I'm just going to click on this. We're going to choose File, and then I'll hit this little folder, and then it should go right to my source images, and I'm just going to look for the color map. Voila. And if I look over here, I don't see it, so I'm just going to hit this little thing here, or you can hit 6. It's not going to show up anyway because we didn't apply it to him yet. Okay, so we'll do that. I'm just going to click back on the Lambda up here. I'm sorry, not there. Back on their standard surface. Here we go. Back on that one. And then if you recall, we just made 3 maps. So the other one was the specular color. So I'm going to go to my specular color. I'm going to hit File. Then it's a little folder here. And then we're going to go specular map. Fabulous. Okay. And then we have a final one. So you'll notice that when we're doing this, again, if you've taken those other classes, then you will know what to do better here than just clicking on that. But you'll notice it has this node system here. Okay, so it's kind of like visual programming. It's like a flow chart. Right now we have the color and that selected. So if I want to go back to material, I can also just click on it here. And I can see how these are connected here as well. So that'll become handy in a second. So we got bump normal map. I'm going to click on this. We're going to do File. You're going to see it's going to bring me to this. I'm going to go ahead and choose tangent space normals. Okay. Now, if I hit this arrow, that's actually going to show me what's connected to this. Notice it's yellow. Yellow means it's a direct connection. So the bump value is actually being determined by an image. And if we look over here, let me make this bigger so you can see it. If we look over here, you can see that now I have this normal camera. It's going out to this bump node, and then it's going to the file. All right. So this one, unlike the other ones, has kind of an in-between. This thing's doing the conversion from the file to that. So if I hit this arrow, it will bring me to this. But you could also just click on that, and that would also bring you there. So if you need to get back and forth, like if I need to adjust the value, I can click on this. And if I need to adjust that, I click on that. So I'm just going to click on that, hit the folder, and then we're just going to go ahead and do normal map and hit open. Okay. That looks fine. Now what I'm gonna do is just assign it to these. So you should probably know there's a bunch of different ways. You can middle mouse button, click and drag. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm just gonna grab everything, and then we're going to minus the eyeballs. Take the eyeballs off because I didn't do those. Eyeballs look a little bit off. Might have to fix that. We'll just right click and assign material to selection, and then I'm gonna hit the texture, and then voila, we will see our model and in all of its glory. Oh, I forgot, I didn't do the shirt. So one of the things I'm going to do is select all of the guys again, or all of my pieces. You can see it's all being faceted, so I'm just going to go to the mesh display, and we're going to just soften edge. That'll get rid of that. Now, the normal map will look a little bit funky. It won't look funky when you bring it into like Unity, and also when you go to render, it should look a little less funky. But you could always just turn it off or lower it if it bothers you. So if you're not super pleased with it, but you're going to notice the seams in particular are going to be really extreme. So you can see, but they won't be that extreme when you actually go to render it. It's just the way that it handles it in here. Okay, so we've got the textures more or less attached. That's good. We got the pieces in there. The next thing I want to do is this. Everything needs to be renamed because the naming currently is not good. So we're going to grab this. It's very important when you're doing rigging that we make sure that everything is organized. So right now this is this final character, blah, blah, blah. You really need to make sure you maintain a naming convention. So in my case, I'm going to call this Logan. That's the name of the character, then underscore. Then I'm going to say what it is. In this case, it's going to be torso, and then underscore geo. Okay, so first it's the name of the character, the name of the body part. If there's two sides to it, then I would do like left torso, right? And then underscore geo lets me know that it's geometry. And I'm just going to go through and type and write everything like that. So Logan underscore shirt underscore geo, right? We'll grab this, and then we'll do Logan underscore belt underscore geo. And then oops, didn't do that. I meant to alt. I think I'm going to grab all these loops and just combine it with this just to make things easier. So I'm going to grab all of this. I'm going to unselect this, and we're going to unselect that. And I think that's all the loops. Yeah. And I'm just going to do mesh combine real quick, and I lost my shelf. Let's do display. Not heads up display. Where are you? Show. Where is the thing? Maybe it's under Windows. Where's the UI? UI elements and shelf. Okay. So I got this selected. I'm just going to do mesh combine. So I can also just done it up here. I guess mesh combine. All right. And that way it's all just one piece. So it'll just be easier. So select this, and we'll call it Logan underscore pants underscore geo. And then we'll do his shoes. Now I could separate these in two separate pieces, but I don't really think that's necessary. Logan underscore shoes underscore geo, and then we got his eyeballs, and these do need to be separate, so we'll just call this Logan underscore eyeball underscore, as eyeball one word, eyeball underscore left underscore geo. Now notice I did left. So when you are doing 2D, you do by the viewer's side. So if this was a 2D character, this would actually be his right eyeball. But when you're doing 3D, you do the perspective of the character itself. I'm just going to copy this, and we'll paste it here, and just put an R, delete, R, enter. Okay. And I'm just going to check my outline and make sure that everything is indeed named correctly. All right. So we're going to go edit, delete all by, edit, delete all by type history. Make sure, so you can see I get rid of all of that. Everything now is named correctly. Everything is zeroed out. Look for any errors, anything you think might be a particular problem. Let's do this as well. I'm going to grab all of this stuff. I'm going to add it to a layer, and we'll just call this, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to call it the geo layer. Actually, we will call it Logan. Logan underscore geo. So very often you can do this because that way we can reference it if we want. It'll make things a little bit easier. And I'm going to, just for the sake of making things, you know what, actually I will leave the shirt on. It'll be annoying, but that way I can show you issues you might run into with that. Okay, I think we are all set up now. We've got the character more or less in position. And so in the next one we'll do is we will start putting in his joints.